I'm coming in here to beat his ass. He gonna come, he gonna be tough, strong, but I'm coming to whoop his ass. I stand by that. I stand by that. I'm fucking him up. Yeah. I'm fucking him.
This is what you guys need. This is what boxing needs. This is why we're here. We're here to take over. Now we got this lightweight coming up to super lightweight to come over here and dethrone the champ.
Things just went completely off the rails. At their latest face-off, Shakur Stevenson lost it and struck Teofimo Lopez right there in front of everyone after all the heated exchanges and non-stop verbal warfare. Lopez didn't flinch, staying ice cold while the energy in that room was absolutely insane. What we witnessed was Stevenson cracking under pressure and showing disrespect, while Lopez proved he's got unbreakable mental strength. It's crystal clear which fighter has the real warrior mentality.
Talk about. Shut me up.
Shakur,
shut me up.
Real quick, Shakur.
I'm right here. Shut me up. Shut me up.
Teofimo Lopez breaks down his game plan with surgical precision, staying completely cool while mapping out his dominance from round 1. Stevenson might love his showboat moves, but Lopez is all about controlling tempo, managing his gas tank, and using his fight intelligence to prove he's built for war at 40 pounds. This is exactly why he stays dangerous.
Really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. You know, I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going from there, setting that tone. I think that I don't see him going those 12 rounds. This is his first time.
Duke McKenzie couldn't hide his amazement after watching Shakur Stevenson lose control and strike Teofimo Lopez during that heated confrontation. Sure, people might question Stevenson's abilities, but that outburst revealed serious issues with respect and self-control, making everyone wonder if he's really ready for this level. Lopez stayed completely unshaken through it all, solidifying his reputation as a laser-focused professional who refuses to let mind games throw him off track. This whole situation perfectly captured how different these two fighters approach pressure situations before their upcoming war.
I don't think he's world class. He's not really my cup of tea. I mean, I don't look at boxing probably the way you do or most sort of fans do. I look at it.
Simon Jordan breaks it down perfectly. Pushing boundaries and creating drama isn't anything new in this sport, but Stevenson's strike really caught everyone off guard because of how public it was. This wasn't your typical trash talk or small incident. This was straight up physical disrespect that grabbed headlines instantly. Lopez handled it like a champion, proving that keeping your cool mentally matters just as much as what you can do physically. Everyone in the boxing world saw this as a game-changing moment that previewed their fight and exposed just how unpredictable Stevenson can be.
And he smashed an egg in his face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended by it.
That strike split everyone's opinions right down the middle. Some people called it completely inappropriate and unprofessional, while others had to admit it cranked up the excitement and anticipation for their clash. Stevenson's outburst dominated social media within hours, but Lopez's controlled reaction earned him major props from boxing insiders. This incident made fans pick their sides, clearly dividing fighters who depend technique and composure from those chasing headlines. It became obvious that Stevenson's wild streak would become a major talking point building up to their showdown.
But I do feel it's maybe what the sport doesn't need, and yet many people are saying, no, it's great. It's great. You watch it. Everybody wants to go to that.
After that strike, it's obvious that absolutely anything could go down when these two get in front of the cameras. Game plans, tactics, and expert predictions might mean nothing when tempers explode like that. Stevenson's reckless move proved he can lose his cool completely, while Lopez showed he can roll with chaos and keep his head clear when provoked. Everyone now realizes that fight night will depend on more than just boxing skills. Mental strength and emotional control will play huge roles, making this matchup way more dangerous and exciting.
You don't know what's going to happen because it's different
Eddie Hearn's breakdown reveals that while Stevenson has incredible talent, that strike incident raises serious questions about his discipline and professionalism. People are now arguing whether his ring intelligence will hold up under intense pressure, or if his hot-headed nature might cost him everything. Lopez, who's already famous for his athleticism and tactical thinking, gets a major boost by staying focused despite the provocation. This whole situation highlights the battle between pure talent and keeping your emotions in check, suggesting that mental toughness might decide everything in their upcoming battle.
I think I don't know how good the fight will be, but I think Shakur is, again, like pound for pound, IQ wise, I think he's even up there with a Terrence and those kind of guys. You know, I think the difference with Boots is he's got the defensive mastercraft, and he also has the aggressive power to turn your lights out, and I think that's quite...
Johnny Nelson's comments after that strike put both mental and physical preparation under the microscope. Stevenson's public meltdown could signal emotional instability that might hurt his endurance and timing when it counts. Lopez stays rock solid, proving that smart preparation and tactical execution matter more than temporary drama. Everyone now sees Lopez not just as a skilled boxer, but as someone who can handle madness and stay in control, turning Stevenson's reckless behavior into a weapon he can use.
Front of him, and I said, look, if you're to believe that he had the best training camp, his legs have gone, and if I've got it wrong.
Stevenson attempts to defend that strike by claiming it was his way of testing himself against Lopez and building motivation. Even though he calls it drive, that moment obviously crossed every line of respect, showing impulsiveness and zero professional control. Lopez responded with incredible calmness and composure when attacked, strengthening his image as a concentrated and disciplined warrior. Experts and fans agree that staying mentally tough while opponents try to break you down is everything, and Lopez's measured handling makes him appear far more ready and strategic than Stevenson's emotional explosion could ever suggest.
I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level. And I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough session, so.
Timothy Bradley Jr. breaks down how that strike incident isn't just shocking publicity. It reveals Stevenson's unstable personality. After analyzing Lopez's speed and athletic ability, he warns that Stevenson is dealing with a fighter who sees through provocations and can take advantage of any mental mistakes. Lopez's ability to stay cool after getting struck shows a level of psychological strength that most opponents don't have. The boxing world recognizes this as a critical teaching moment. Pure physical ability won't secure victory. Stevenson's reckless behavior might now work perfectly in Lopez's favor, handing the young champion a mental advantage.
The real. It's not gonna be an easy damn fight for Shakur Stevenson. Nope, it ain't gonna be an easy fight. Nope. After studying freaking Lopez yesterday, man, look, that athleticism that he got, that's...
Rolly Romero respects Stevenson's technique and boxing intelligence, but that strike completely overshadowed his professional reputation. A fighter can be technically brilliant but still get destroyed by emotional breakdowns, and this incident created major doubts about Stevenson's composure when the heat gets turned up. Lopez, even after being disrespected publicly, stayed calm, showing both mental strength and strategic maturity. Experts point out that fighters who can stay focused through drama and distractions usually gain a hidden advantage. Lopez's skill at managing aggression, both his own and his opponent's, proves he's mentally ready to take advantage of Stevenson's impulsiveness when everything is on the line.
Incredible fighter, and Shakur's an incredible fighter. Shakur has a really high boxing IQ and a very... Shakur coming out with I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good fight. I like to see it.
Eddie Hearn's viewpoint mirrors Lopez's situation perfectly. Just like Anthony Joshua rarely breaks composure, Lopez managed to stay collected after Stevenson's strike, showing a level of professionalism and mental toughness that separates elite fighters from everyone else. This incident highlighted the razor-thin difference between smart showmanship and dangerous behavior, which Stevenson clearly stepped over. Everyone now examines how mental discipline affects fight outcome. Lopez's self-control not only protects his reputation, but also puts psychological pressure back on Stevenson. This public confrontation proves that fights are just as much about controlling emotions and playing mind games as they are about power, tactics, and game planning.
You know, the push was, listen, we've seen worse, you know what I mean? But lively, and what followed actually was one of the few times that I've seen Anthony Joshua unravel, if you like, because normally he's very composed, but you can't be composed when a man's talking to you like that.
Keyshawn Davis stresses the seriousness and massive stakes of this fight, putting Stevenson's strike in proper perspective. The incident shows Stevenson undervaluing the intensity and respect needed at the elite level. Lopez demonstrates he knows exactly what kind of opponent he's facing, mixing skill with complete composure. Their background, both as amateurs and professionals, proves that Lopez is mentally locked in for whatever game Stevenson wants to play. Experts emphasize that emotional reactions rarely work against a focused opponent, and Lopez's ability to absorb and respond strategically keeps him the dominant, composed fighter going into this massive showdown.
Know these dudes very well. Shakur had talked about this shit before it was actually official, and I'm like, cool. You know this nigga can fight, right? Cool, like, nah, bro, I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we all excited about the fight, bro. Like, we all know it's at stake. Like, we've been knowing Teofimo since we was 12 or 13 years old and amateurs, bro. Like, we all been winning nationals together. Now we're pro having to fight each other, so.
Amir Khan breaks down exactly how lethal Lopez becomes when he's fully locked in. Stevenson's strike only emphasized the intensity Lopez will unleash. He's battled top-level competition like Lomachenko and consistently shown the ability to adjust and take over. Unlike Stevenson, who depends on flash and sometimes loses his cool, Lopez blends technical perfection with devastating power, making him a nightmare matchup. Everyone now sees that strike incident as a mental challenge Lopez passed without breaking a sweat, proving he won't get shaken by pre-fight games. His ability to raise his performance when pressured makes him special, and fighters who sleep on his adaptability risk getting dominated in both skill and strategy. This moment confirms that while Stevenson has talent, Lopez's experience, mental toughness, and ability to step up to challenges make him the clear pick in high-pressure battles, especially when emotions boil over.
The fight between Stevenson and Lopez, what a fight. Who wins that? Lopez. You think Stevenson? Lopez is a very good fighter, bro. I've trained with him, I've had him on the pad, he bangs hard, he's a good all-round boxer, slick. A lot of people don't give him the credit for how good of a boxer he is. Look, he's the type of guy I know about Lopez is that when he has to turn it up, he turns it up. And I think with someone like Shakur, he will have to turn it up big time. And obviously Shakur, we've not really seen him in the deep end. Look at Lopez, he's fought like Lomachenko. He's beaten some great names on the way, man.
Teddy Atlas captures the explosive potential of this battle perfectly. That strike incident creates the foundation for incredible drama, but it also reveals a psychological war where Lopez clearly shows better control. Stevenson's outburst might be expensive, since composure usually determines who runs the ring. Experts stress that while both fighters have technical skills, Lopez's experience and ability to stay calm under fire gives him a tactical edge. This style clash promises to be a technical chess match loaded with raw intensity, and everyone is already preparing for fireworks. Lopez has proven he can handle provocation, deal with pressure, and make opponents regret their mistakes. Stevenson's swagger will get tested at every moment, and while his talent is real, Lopez's combination of tactical intelligence, timing, and mental power will likely take over when everything matters most, especially in the high-stakes atmosphere this confrontation has created.
I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete.
Conor Benn's breakdown shows the layers of this matchup, especially after that strike incident exposed Stevenson's volatile personality. While Stevenson ranks highly pound for pound, Lopez's skill at handling physical and mental pressure can't be ignored. The confrontation strike proved that Stevenson might underestimate what happens when he acts without thinking. Lopez has repeatedly proven he can adjust mid-fight and keep strategic focus, no matter what provocations come his way. Experts believe that winning this fight will depend not just on technical skill, but also on mental strength, and Lopez owns the advantage there. Conor also suggests that the cockiness Stevenson displays creates openings Lopez can attack. Everyone sees this as a defining moment, where composure against ego will control the fight's rhythm. Lopez's experience against elite opponents like Lomachenko gives him a roadmap to shut down Stevenson's aggression while taking advantage of poor decision.
I'm backing Teo. I think he's in a hard fight. Well, it's not a taxing fight. He's in a complex fight in terms of boxing, but it's not in a war.
Playing devil's advocate, obviously, as a journalist as well, you look at pound-for-pound rankings and Shakur is a lot higher. I know you don't like Shakur, but do you not have respect for what he could do against Teofimo Lopez? Because you've dismissed him there, Connor.
No, I don't not like Shakur. I like Shakur. I'm just insulted he thinks he can come up to my weight and feel like he can just make it easy work. Or come up to my weight then. I don't not like him. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's funny looking as well.
Lamont Roach offered his prediction for the upcoming Stevenson versus Lopez showdown on the Ring Champs podcast, clearly favoring Stevenson as the probable victor. He pointed out that Stevenson's high ring IQ and strategic approach could present significant challenges that Lopez may struggle to overcome.
He a little cuckoo too, like.
Lamont Roach's perspective highlights Stevenson's occasional mental breakdowns and the danger they create in pressure-packed fights. That strike incident at the confrontation perfectly shows how emotional impulses can hurt a fighter. Lopez stays composed and sticks to a skill-based approach, showing the huge difference in temperament. Experts note that in closely matched fights, patience and adaptability are everything, and Lopez's ability to punish mistakes puts him in a strong position against Stevenson. Everyone is talking about how Stevenson's aggressive tendencies might explode in his face when he meets Lopez's disciplined, tactical approach. This incident also reminds us that showmanship can't replace technical mastery and strategic execution. Lopez will likely capitalize on Stevenson's unpredictability, making this fight not just a test of physical ability but a war of mental strength. The confrontation strike now represents the psychological advantage Lopez holds.
Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win, and he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like because it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to
Conor Benn reinforces that despite Stevenson's higher pound-for-pound ranking, Lopez has the essential mental edge and fight intelligence needed to win. That strike incident perfectly represents Stevenson's habit of letting emotions control his actions, which a disciplined opponent like Lopez can easily punish. While Stevenson's confidence and skill are obvious, Conor emphasizes that Lopez's adaptability, composure, and ability to read opponents in real time give him a better foundation for victory. He points out that raw power alone won't guarantee success. Handling pressure, managing provocations, and executing strategy matter just as much. Lopez has consistently shown he can meet challenges and stay composed when others crack. The confrontation strike, instead of rattling Lopez, highlights Stevenson's weakness. In the view of fans and experts, Lopez's calm, focused, and experienced approach makes him the favorite, while Stevenson's impulsive behavior creates extra risk in this massive matchup.
I'm backing Teo. I think he's in a hard fight. Well, it's not a taxing fight. He's in a complex fight in terms of boxing, but it's not in a war.
Playing devil's advocate, obviously, as a journalist as well, you look at pound-for-pound rankings and Shakur is a lot higher. I know you don't like Shakur, but do you not have respect for what he could do against Teofimo Lopez? Because you've dismissed him there, Connor.
No, I don't not like Shakur. I like Shakur.
The Lopez versus Stevenson war is now burning hot not just because of skill, but because of the drama at that confrontation where Stevenson's strike grabbed headlines and immediately changed the mental battlefield. Lopez has proven over and over that he can stay cool under fire, respond smartly to provocation, and convert intensity into strategy, while Stevenson's reckless actions risk throwing away momentum before the opening bell. Everyone is now questioning whether Stevenson can keep his composure against Lopez's calculated aggression and championship-level experience, especially knowing Lopez has faced elite fighters like Lomachenko and adapted perfectly under pressure. Every expert and former fighter watching this understands that the fight won't just be about landed shots, it will be a war of intelligence, timing, and mental fortitude. That strike incident warns us that Stevenson might be vulnerable to overreacting, while Lopez feeds off these moments to enforce his dominance. Who will seize control when everything is at stake in that ring? Can Stevenson bounce back from his own errors? Or will Lopez turn this into a boxing clinic? Drop your thoughts below, jump into the discussion, and let everyone know where you stand, because this is one battle you absolutely cannot afford to miss.